Sharks pass didn't click with Draisaitl. 12 seconds to go. Florida trying to end it up against the wall, which would be fitting. 3 seconds to go. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
From the ice to the mic, OBB gonna strike. Every win they trace, Florida in first place. Echoes loud and clear, Panthers making history here. Fans cheer far and near, victory we hold dear. Florida Heat on ice, podcast breaking it nice. Talk the play-by-play, streak the rain coming our way.
Welcome to the Orange Bowl, boys. It is the Mario era, chapter 127.
127 de Mario. Panthers go! Panthers go! Stanley champions. Stanley champions.
It's fucking awesome last night, man. Oh, phenomenal.
Kid was screaming. Had my nephew over and a friend over, and it was like, 10 knockouts. I mean, that is something they'll remember for the rest of their life. How cool is that? Good for them. Good for them. And what's even better is by 8:30 this morning, that thing was at the Elbo Room.
Bro.
On Las Solis in A1A.
Dude, they were in, I don't know whose golf cart, but they were in a 6-person golf cart. You had Keith, you had Brady's dad, Brady and Matt's dad driving the golf cart. You had the Kachuk brothers, you had Bennett, and you had Barkov all in the golf cart driving down Las Olas with the cup in the back, going to the Elbo Room. And then it ends up in the Atlantic. I mean, that is a way. First of all, the last 10 minutes of that game, probably the most nerve-wracking I can remember. I mean, that was an absolute fucking barrage that the Oilers put on the Panthers.
Yes, they absolutely did. And the Panthers didn't do anything to stop it. But yeah, it was just insane. It was just clear it and just face off. Wouldn't just clear it. Just it was ridiculous. Insane.
Watching so much of that is so great. You get to watch all, the guys, right? And Barkov's been here since the beginning of his career anyway. Ekblad, he's been here the whole time. And then you see the guys that have come in. But to see Paul Maurice, and he's just a really cool fucking dude, right? Like he thinks he's thoughtful, but like the stuff that he said last night and what meant the most to him and how it was so much different than he ever anticipated, and that it was better. And the most important things about the entire thing were that group of guys and the hugs with all the guys. The fact that he said that he saw Sam Bennett smile for the first time in 2 years, I thought was the funniest thing of the night by far. Like, I mean, it's just like, it was awesome, man. It's really, really cool to see. I also saw him say, time to hunt, right? That's the mantra. Did you see the thing about, it was not this past December, but the December prior after he got here. So it was like halfway through his first season, basically. Or the beginning of the first, I don't know when it was. Maybe it was halfway through this year. Anyway, there's a guy that has a sign that he puts up, time to hunt, for a new coach. And he said, this motherfucker put this thing up, and he's like, oh, here we go again. Like, he saw it all the time. And he's like, it absolutely drove me nuts. I got to be honest with you. But I don't know. That's fun, man. And these boys know how to celebrate. No, like that's just dudes being dudes. They carry the Stanley Cup
3:30
down
in
the
the morning,
beach into the
shirtless,
ocean
on the ice. Those guys were partying.
Incredible.
And you know what? Most of those fans or people that were at the Elbo Room, if it wasn't for Lord Stanley's Cup, would have no idea that who those guys were. they legit,
Bennett already
I don't know
shaved.
about that.
Do you
I don't
see
know about
Bennett?
that anymore.
You know-
I don't know about that.
No,
Bennett
because
already
here's the
clean
thing.
shaven. No, you wouldn't know Bennett if he was standing next to you.
Yeah, because that's the tradition, right? Once you hit the playoffs, you're
Playoff
not allowed to
period,
shave. You
He
keep
got
that
rid of it
beard.
already.
Yeah, so
Looks
that beard,
nothing
the
like 'em.
beards are off. Like those guys are just. I mean, honestly, if they walked by me, I wouldn't recognize them. You know, because they got their helmets on and everything like that. And it's just I don't follow hockey that intently.
Mhm.
You know, how many? You know, Bob's always got a helmet on, so who's gonna recognize him? Those guys are so low key, down to earth, and chill. But then once I see them, I'm like, what the hell, Lord? I wish I would have known. I would have went down to the Elbo Room. I was in Broward today, anyways. I would have just to take a picture with the cup. That's amazing. Go into the look at me. I'm in the ocean with Stanley's Cup.
So that's where the parade's going to be. It's going to go down Sunday, right down there by the Elbow Room in Coleman. And I guess we're going to have the stage set up where the volleyball courts are, whatever, the Fort Lauderdale City Beach Park, or whatever that is. Maybe that's further south. I'm not sure. But that's where the parade's all going to be happening. So, yeah, man, it was. Listen, I'll say the Paul Maurice thing is great. You know, being someone that grew up in Hartford, he was the last coach the Whalers had. So I remember him when he was a 28-year-old getting his first gig.
Yeah.
And just the evolution between now and a 57-year-old man that has been through so much. I mean, dude, he's coached the second most amount of games, only behind, I think, Scotty Bowman.
Well, I found it interesting too. First of all, I had no idea that the actual, country of Canada hasn't won, a
93.
title in decades.
31 years.
Yeah.
31 years. And then, but it next, our coach has been saying, hey, the next one needs to go back up. I believe he said Winnipeg. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's where he was. So he thought when he left Winnipeg, he thought he was retiring from hockey for good. And then the Panthers called him, and he was never expecting he was going to coach again. And man, this has worked out beautifully.
To think about what this GM did.
Zito, bro.
You take a high flying and with guys who that are on the team that were on the team that didn't fit that style at all, right? But you take a high flying, wide open, just open ice, score as much as possible. And he said, you know what? We're never going to win anything like this. And he literally goes out and says, I would just want to be a defensive team. And he changes the entire landscape of the franchise and gets a guy who was retired, for Christ's sake, to come in, who has he's got the third most wins, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Also has the most losses in history.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Now, listen, you got to give Vinny Viola credit, because also realize there was a seismic thing happened when all of a sudden remember, they had handed the reins over to Joel Quenneville and everything was humming nicely and they were winning. And I mean, listen, Quenneville was like, we're going to win a Stanley Cup within 3 years. And it was a different style. He had done it in Chicago. And then all of a sudden the seismic thing happened where he's the NHL Banson. He's gone now. All of a sudden he gave it over to his assistant, Andrew Brunette, who leads you to this President's Cup, but not, and the fact that they were able to transition to Maurice and Zito from that and and not miss a beat and still get better, he hired the perfect people. You got to give the owner a lot of credit for that.
Insane.
Him and Caldwell, the fact that they picked the right guys, they could have. I mean, there was a chance there for this all to go sideways after Quenneville left. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, much larger chance for that to happen than for this to happen.
Right, 100%. Yes. So,
I mean, this is so stuff.
Cool.
This is dream stuff. Like, this type of stuff doesn't happen off of that type of stuff.
No.
In 2 years.
Does not.
Right. I mean, and 1 year in the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
First year in the finals.
And then
you're winning.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Last
totally
5
nuts,
titles have gone through the state of Florida.
Yes, they have, baby.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
So check this out. This is pretty cool. Last night, guys, I've completed the fan grand slam. My favorite team in each of the 4 major sports. I have now lived to watch them win a title, at least one title.
That's pretty
your
cool.
college football team
and my college football and basketball team also. So I've got 6. So I've got all my top 6. Like I think I'm done with sports.
Basketball, yes. Baseball, yes. Football,
Seahawks.
No, not for us.
Not for us.
Dolphin fans, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a Dolphins
That's
fan.
the one.
Yeah.
You see they put the Panthers on the elevator at Dolphin facility. The elevator that they do.
Yeah. Did they?
The Panthers with the cup. Yeah.
They changed that thing
them.
fast.
Yeah.
They like
do.
from week to
They got a
yeah.
printer right behind the building there.
They
My
absolutely
goodness.
did.
That's somebody's only job, because we've been there many of times
Mm-hmm.
in that hallway, in that corridor. We know some people that know some people.
It's just Prince.
Yeah. And they got
Sticks.
they got like Waddle scoring a touchdown, and the next week he's like on the elevator. So yeah, they work fast in that department.
All right, should we talk about some Canes?
I don't know. I kind of just want to talk about the Panthers all night.
We can do that as well. I mean, it is a special day in college football. Something was released today. It's Rose's favorite day.
What? NCAA
The
college football.
annual blue chip report came out.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I saw
yeah,
Miami was located in 63%.
We right there, baby. Yeah. 61, I think, but yeah, right there.
61%. And when Florida State won their title in 2013, that's exactly where they were. They were in the 60% range. And I remember we were like hovering around in the 20s and 30s in the Al Golden era. And then you look at Oregon, you see how high they are. So you know that's Mario's blueprint still. I mean, he's the architect. The blue chip ratio for Oregon is due in part to Mario Cristobal still. Now, Miami's getting there. They're going in the right direction now. You saw it. It said statistically proven these are the only teams that have a legit shot to win a national championship. We'll see. Hasn't necessarily worked.
63. Miami's at 61.
Yeah, and I think, listen, if Miami's an SEC team, they're probably 71. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that come in that are like criminally underrated.
Now, I will say this: they added a wrinkle to it this year, and they do the blue chip, but then they also did a different blue chip, factoring in all the transfers. And Miami drops from 61 to 56.
That's
And
interesting.
in that one, Florida State moves in. They're at 53.
See, I don't understand that too much, because like all our guys that transferred out, I mean, the eye test is going to tell you it's not even an eye test. It's going to be an ink test, right?
All those guys, 4 stars.
Yeah, they're still 4 stars, but the ink test, they're not going to Power 5. Well, you could say SMU is now Power 5.
That the blue chip ratio is fucking bullshit, man, because you can't go because it doesn't. You're judging them by the stars and not by how they're developed on the field.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like that caveat and wrinkle that, you know, we're going to use the transfer portal numbers per se, because like I said, most of the people that transferred away from Miami ended up going to schools that they weren't going to perennial contenders on that other blue chip lists, right? They were going to other schools, and they were having a hard time. Listen, Alonzo kind of changed a lot of what I thought after we had that interview with him, and he became an OBB alumni. He was like, you know, realistically, it's so tight between the 3 and 4 star guys, and most of the NFL comes from the 3-star class. If you're being honest, the blue chip ratio whores, including myself, we want blue chips at all cost. But he's like, really, realistically, there's only 1 or 2 5 stars every year. Everything else is just so razor thin. And you can see some of the guys that came in as 3 stars are really damn good players, like Gregory Rousseau. We mentioned him last week. That guy was a 3-star dude. You know, Ray Lewis was never a blue chip guy. Obviously, Ed Reed's the most famous 2-star. Ed Reed was never a 2-star. If you looked at his film, whoever did that, they just pressed delete 2 times and just sent it in. That's all they did. That was a mistake. But, you know, now I think with Mario, though, you do see a different style of blue chip, though. You do. Because the reason why I'm going to say that is because you're not – typically Mario's fighting off the biggest of the big, right? He's fighting off Georgia. He's fighting off Alabama. Blue chips in the past, that wasn't always the case. That was not always the case. So I like it. I think a Mario 63 – I'm going to just give you your opinion on Mario 64. A Mario 61 – I think that's even more steadfast than, let's say, a Rick 61 or Diaz 61. I just think he's going to recruit higher caliber guys. That's my opinion.
Listen, man, we come out with shit every single year. None of it matters until you're winning 10, 11 games. I mean, so you can, it's just fodder, man. We've had this fodder now for 5 years. It's just, I just think it's funny when it comes out every year because people are still talking about it. And just for those of you who want to know, Ohio State is number 1. They're at 90%. Actually, the first time that neither Bama or Georgia haven't been up there. Yeah, they're at 90%. Well,
the only reason why they're there is because their kicker tanks them. So,
but yeah, Ohio State is Big 10. Oregon is Big 10. Oh, there's no Big 12 school on here. And if you look at the ACC is closer to the Big 10 and SEC than they are to the Big 12 in terms of player ratings. Like the number of schools in the Big 12, I think what this was saying is like they're 2 and 3 cycles away from even having a chance to crack the 50% number. So
you just said Ohio State was at 90.
90%.
All right.
Fuck you.
That's think
Chip
about
Kelly's going to have them.
think
humming this
about
year.
that for a second.
Yeah.
Think about how absurd that actually is.
88.
It's
Oh
it's
my
counterproductive at a certain
God.
point because there's
Well, yeah,
going to
I
be
mean,
a break point.
Yeah, they're not all going to stay there. Obviously,
They're not all going to
That's
stay there, and they're
nuts,
not.
bro.
You only have 22.
Yeah,
So
no,
22
Jeremiah
are
Smith is
starters,
absolutely
right?
transferring
And you
to
could
Miami
get
in the
deeper.
offseason.
You could say, okay, so listen, just do the easy math. You got 85 scholarship players. You got 11 on offense, 11 on defense, right? And then you're going to have a little bit of a stable of a rotation. Realistically, you're going to have about 40 players playing, right? So if you got 90%, there's 30 other blue chip kids, almost 35 other blue chip kids at that point are not seeing the field. It is counterproductive. It doesn't, at a certain point, it doesn't mean anything. Now, you got more depth that way. It means a lot, but none of those kids are going to stay there. I would love to have like an analytics department break that down and say, okay, at what point is the blue chip ratio it just doesn't matter. Like at a certain, like 90 does not matter. They'll never see the field, and they'll transfer out before they ever have the opportunity to.
I brought this up like the last week or the week before, where there's going to come a point where recruits know 4 and 5 stars, the top level recruits are going to know that if I'm not getting a spot at either one of the top 3 teams in the SEC or the Big Ten, I'm not really going to have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. So let's look at the ACC, let's look at the Big 12, and let's look at the top tier teams there. Like you're going to see, as I said, there's only so much room.
You think they're going to look at that though? I don't think
when you look at, bro, when you get into a 12-team playoff now, this isn't a 4-team. There's going to be a bunch of teams that make the playoff now. You want bragging rights. These kids are now going to know, like, hey, listen, I want to be able to, get the NIL bonuses that come with playoff appearances. You know what? That's just going to be written into deals. So yeah, it's going to factor into it. Like, am I even going to get on the field going to Ohio State, or do I want to actually play in the playoff?
That's why you stay in the ACC.
Yes.
You can almost guarantee yourself a ticket into the playoff every year
With
to
playing
finish
time.
top 1 or 2 in the ACC, and you get to play like that. Honestly, that's a great business plan.
But I don't think kids are thinking about that. That's the point. That's great coach speak. That's great if you're thinking along the lines of coaching. I think these kids, I just want to see the bag, bro. I want to play because it's got a cool atmosphere, bro.
Right, but if they're not
I don't
playing,
think they're
just on the
thinking,
sideline.
well, you know what? I'm not really playing, so let me go find a team that's going to get into the playoffs, and I'll get my return of investment that way. That's not what happens.
But you see players doing that right now. They're transferring for playing time, knowing they can still get a bag somewhere else.
Yeah, they
How
transfer
many
to
times
another
are you
team
gonna
for
be
a
the Ohio
bag, but
State guy on the
exactly
sideline without his pads on.
Exactly. I think that's where it's going to be. I think if they get the bigger bag, like, listen, Cam Ward, I'm happy you're on the University of Miami. I really do. You're kind of a mercenary, though. You are.
Of course he is.
I mean, you came to the University of Miami because they had the biggest bag for you, right? I mean, we heard the rumors. It's not because they're a perennial playoff contender. Now, we're glad you came here and you weren't looking at, oh, well, it's a 12-team playoff and we can't this. And no, you came here because you were trying to maximize your investment for this year. Now, we appreciate you here and we want to get, and you're a pivotal piece springboarding us forward. But I'm not about to get after Florida State last year and call them a team of mercs and just totally ignore the fact that QB1 this year came in kind of on a mercenary kind of game plan.
Yeah, that's college sports now.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So that's so who cares? I mean, it's not an insult to call a player a mercenary. Like that's the landscape. That's what they want to have. These guys are transferring more than one time a year for crying out loud.
But again, that's what I'm saying. That it's for the bag. And I don't think they think that far in advance that it's a 12-team playoff and I could get this and I could get in here. It's just like, who's going to pay me the most money and where do I get the most vibe? And that's where
I don't know. I think there's still elite recruits that are all about winning, dude, and they want to win championships. Though those high-level guys are going to want to be Hall of Famers. Like those guys still exist, absolutely.
True, but I think a lot of the kids that want to be Hall of Famers, if you are really smart, especially at the defensive line position, you want to go to play for Jason Taylor.
Yeah,
because that is a guy that's been to the Hall of Fame. He knows. I saw an interesting interview with Ruben Hurricane Bain, and he was talking about how it's just so cool to be coached by him, and he'll like actually come in and do reps, and he won a rep against him, and he's like, I beat him on the next one though. But it's just for a guy like that, yes, I believe so. But you're right, Toast. I mean, there's always going to be people who want to win the championship. They want to do everything that they can. That was the Nick Saban appeal. Now there is no more Nick Saban appeal at Alabama. You can't in all good conscience say that you're going to win championships because it hasn't been done yet in this new era. But once you win that first one, it just makes it a little bit easier.
All right, what are we hitting next?
Cats won the cup.
Yeah,
They did. Oh, we got to play the audio. The Oklahoma State guy.
Well, there's all
Robert
kinds
Allen?
of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
do we get to that?
Oh,
on
because it was
topics?
Canes related. Yeah, that
Yeah, it
guy's
was
Canes
Canes
related.
Yeah.
Okay.
Canes
All right,
related.
so
Yeah.
what's this guy's name? Robert Allen.
Allen, yeah.
It's a sideline reporter for Oklahoma State. They asked him about the cheatingest team in college football.
Miami. I wouldn't root for Miami if they were playing the Kremlin. That's the most tampering, cheating institution out there in the NIL era. I mean, Nick Martin, they hammered Nick Martin more than they hammered Ollie Gordon. Nick Martin finally, y'all quit calling me. I don't know any other I can name by school, but no, Ollie Gordon got hit on. Nick Martin got hit on a lot more.
You know, do you think Robert, and didn't we hear a crazy rumor that after Manny was let go, wasn't there an Oklahoma State head coach that might have had interest in the Miami job?
Oh, that's true.
Wasn't that something that kind of was out there a little bit?
That's
Kind of
true.
had an intermediary. Like, I mean, come on, bro.
We're
Like,
gonna start.
the
We're gonna
dirt
start that
cheese
now.
Team? Come on.
That just sounded like a guy from the '80s, right? That sounded
Right.
like a total Oklahoma. You lost Jimmy
I am.
Johnson. Yeah, dude, we've been hearing that. I haven't heard it like that in a long time, but that's what they said once they made all the Miami rules, and you had that part of the country that just hated us because they weren't us. So whatever, nothing new, but we're the cheatingest team in the NIL
The
era.
cheatiest.
Come on,
Cheatiest.
bro.
Like we're
What a
like we're
little
Cheetos.
crybaby
Little
bitch.
cheatiest.
Like, just knock it off already.
Listen, I'm going to say blatantly false. Listen, Oklahoma State fan, this goes directly back to you. And I'm going to tell you why it's blatantly false. Because we're Miami fans. And if there is anything legitimate that we are doing wrong, we are going to get busted for it. We always have. We always will. They've tried to shut down our program until your program gets a Sports Illustrated cover that says why Miami should get rid of college football. And we just got a new one from our own reporter saying in this NIL market, they should shut us down again. So guess what? Any chance the NCAA has the opportunity to do it, they will. And the fact that they haven't been able to do it, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Get out of here, bro. Touch the button. Tell them this is for you. Touch the button.
Get the fuck out of here.
Seriously.
I'll tell you this.
Touch the button.
If they went after Ollie Gordon, who would have loved, and they missed, perhaps what they learned from that approach and miss is why they didn't miss with Damian Martinez.
Or Cam
Just
Ward.
saying. Who knows?
Bring on all the mercs.
I would have loved to have Ollie Gordon here. Are you kidding me? Jesus, damn. That's a fun football player right there. All right. We got someone else getting some praise. And you've been calling this, Ro, and I think Scoop as well. You guys have been saying that this guy had been underrated for the better part of a year since he committed, and he's basically been on board with the Canes and Mario for seems like it's been over a year at this stage. But Luke Nickel just flashed and blew up at the Elite 11.
Listen,
Best
you
in
have
the
an
country.
NFL, if you have an NFL caliber QB
I'm
in Cam Newton,
just saying. It's
and
best in
he's
the
like
country.
he's the
for
best
25.
too. I mean, that's a guy that knows. And you're like, well, he's on his team, bro. If he's on his team, he's gonna pot him. He doesn't have to. I got kids on my team. I'm not gonna say that they're best in the country. But guess what? If I had a kid on my team who's the best in the country, I'm gonna tell you he's the best in the country. You know, it's that's not how it works, especially with those guys. And you got to look at it. You know, is Luke Nickel? He plays for Cam. Is Luke Nickel a Cam Newton style player in personality? No, not even close. Like Cam Newton doesn't. I don't necessarily think he can relate to Luke Nickel. Right? They're quarterbacks that can relate on that level, but in terms of their personalities, not even close. Which gives more credence to the fact that if Cam Newton is saying that Luke Nickel is the guy, he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy. So you might want to listen to a former NFL quarterback. And we've been trying to tell you, and I mean, just watching the film, I'll tell you, he's one of the more confident throwers of the football that I've seen at his where he is as he was throwing it and spinning it when I first watched him as a sophomore, now junior. Like, he's always been a confident deliverer of the football. And you could just see it. He exudes confidence. And that's alpha. And Miami does the best when it has alpha style quarterbacks. They always have, they always will. Boo.
Bang, yeah.
All right. So the next 24/7, they did their prediction for the number of teams that will have double-digit wins this year. So last year, that number was 17. They say that that's going to dip this year because of league schedules are more competitive with the consolidation of a couple of conferences. They're saying 15 teams project to double-digit wins, and Miami has made the list. They have Miami going 11-1, 7-1 in the conference. A lone loss. Who?
Florida State.
Florida State, yes. Which basically would guarantee them a spot in the 12-team playoff. If you are 11-1, 7-1 with a one loss against Florida State, you're going to be in the playoff.
Man,
because there's no way they're not ranked in the top 12.
Call me a homer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I just don't see it.
What, 11-1?
I just don't see it. No, well, that either. But I don't see the Florida State thing. I don't see it, man.
Okay. I think they're going to take a step back.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I don't.
They were an insanely talented team last year. They had a lot of talent. We tried to knock him at first, but then when you saw him, and the guy was like a DJ. He's a throwback. Yeah, he was a throwback. Listen, he was terrible. But he's kind of that college throwback, like where the guy was in the program, was a starter for like 17 years, and by his senior year, he picked up on it. He's grown. He's seen some things. He has experience. You don't really see those quarterbacks. It's very rare now. It's like at the big time programs because they're one and dones or they're in the NFL real quick. But that was one of those throwback guys. So they hit on that. They had insanely talented wide receivers. They had a good system. They had good defense. They have, NFL caliber players. But that was one of the most, talented FSU teams in a while. And we know when they have the talent, like Florida State talent 2013, it wasn't better than 2001. That's coming from a Miami fan because you'll never have the Hall of Famers off that team. And that's what I told him. I was like, when people ask me, is 2013 better than your 2001 Miami team? I was like, we'll see. Because to me, you're going to find out in the NFL too, like how many of those guys are going to end up in the Pro Bowl. And even though that's a college team and that's not really a fair barometer, for me it is, because if we're saying the best team of all time, you have to have advanced metrics. And I think your NFL performance is your advanced metrics, barring injuries. So that team doesn't compare. But other than that 2013 team that they had, that last year team was damn good. So I see why they were ultimately successful. I just don't see them being as successful because I don't think they're as talented. And I've seen what they've done with this coach when they don't have as talented of a team. He's been really bad. So do I think they're going to have a good season? Yes. Do I think they're going to have the season that they had last year? Not even close. I predict like an 8-4 season for them.
Oh,
which isn't even close, right? Because they were
right. No, so in this prediction, the ACC has 4 10-win teams projected: Miami, Florida State, Clemson, NC State. Clemson, NC State at 10-2, Miami and Florida State at each 11-1. But Florida State goes undefeated in the conference. Their only loss at Notre Dame.
This is the irony. Miami and Florida State are both going to go 11-1. I take it back. Florida State's not going to go 8-4 because I want irony to win here. They're finally going to go 11-1. ACC is finally going to get what they wanted all these decades with Miami and Florida State being good at the same time, just for Florida State to leave the conference the next year.
Hey,
Bye. Bye, Felicia.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, hit the button.
Big 10's going to have 3 10-win teams. Big 12's going to have 2. And the SEC will have 6.
How's the SEC going to have 6?
So
when they all play each other?
So Ole Miss 10-2, Tennessee 10-2, LSU 10-2.
No chance.
Texas,
They played
11-1. Georgia 10-2, Alabama 10-2.
No chance. No chance they play. No chance.
10-2.
Everybody's
except for
10-2.
Texas.
Everybody's
A whole bunch of
10-2.
10 and
Who do
2s.
they have? So of those double-digit win teams,
Mhm.
who do they have undefeated?
For of all of them? No,
Yes.
it doesn't
None,
look so.
nobody.
So actually, it looks like nobody. So the best, yeah. None of these teams are
Nobody.
undefeated. No one is going undefeated. The best teams are us, Florida State, Oregon, Penn State.
And
Oh no,
Texas?
Ohio State's going undefeated. FU, 12-0. So yeah,
I
Might
can
have the
actually
best-
see them going.
That might have the best. They may have the best team ever assembled this
they
year.
may.
They're 90% blue chip.
I mean, come on, guys. Like,
I mean-
Jesus Christ. And I mean, the schedule.
you could see where they're at mentally, right? Their biggest rival, wins the national championship. They're pissed because they're saying he cheated, the whole Connor Stallions thing. Nick Saban finally retires, so if there's any shot, like your best shot, it's probably this year. I still think
They have two
Georgia's going to
games.
be like the new machine moving forward. I mean, they are the new juggernaut. It's Alabama, Nick Saban 2.0. It's just in between the hedges.
Ohio State's got two, in my mind, two tough games. They're both on the road. At Oregon, at Penn State. Everything else is at home except for Michigan State.
Penn State on the road. I mean,
It'll be- it
this
might be a
James
whiteout
Franklin
at
era?
night. Who knows? I
but
mean, young
James Franklin's
quarterback.
been laying
I
so
know.
many damn eggs.
I know.
You know, and now Manny Diaz is not there. Let's remind everybody. I mean,
That's right.
Manny Diaz, when he doesn't have the pressure of being a head coach, he's shown that he can be a decent defensive coordinator. He had a good year. He kept them in some ball games now. And now he's the head coach at Duke. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think Penn State's a fraud. I mean, Penn State's a damn good team. I would they've been way more successful than Miami the last couple of years. But they're fraudulent in terms of getting to the next level.
Yes,
they
no,
just
they cannot
always
get over
lay
the
an
hurdle.
egg and
Yes.
bad eggs. It's like
Yes.
when they have an opportunity, they're going to lose 42-17 to Ohio State.
Listen, I think Ohio State's number one in the preseason poll, so it makes sense. They may run the table. We'll see. But listen, running the table and then all of a sudden a 12-team playoff. Now I think they would get a bye. I think the way it works, the top four get a bye, if I'm not mistaken. But
We would get a bye at 11-1.
possibly if everyone else is 10-2, yes, yeah. So we'll see. Oh, John, the expectations are just out of this. It's just we're fucked. We're fucked. I mean, if we meet these
11-1.
expectations, dude, I'll be as happy. I'll be pretty much as happy as I was last night for the Panthers game. We can reach those expectations if we can go 11-1, dude, and we're in the playoff. Like, do you know how happy I will be after 20 years of this shit?
Happier than last night.
Yes. But no, because we got to win it all
Well,
for me to be happier. Just
Okay.
making the playoff, you at least win a playoff. Yeah, if you just make the playoff, I'm not going to be, all-time happy. I'll be
I'd be pretty happy.
I'll be very happy. I'll be very, very happy. Very happy. All right.
Friends
Little-
time.
Friends time. Friends time. It's raining a lot here, man.
it is raining nonstop now.
Insane.
Blue tarp season.
That's what it
We've-
is.
We've coined it. It's a phrase. It's happening. And in South Florida, it's always happening. And you know what else is happening? A phone call. And you know who to call. Who do you call?
And Paul,
Give them a
give
call.
me a call.
561-954-305. Does not matter. It's 981 Roof. 981 Roof. 981 Roof. And, we're getting closer to student of the game season.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to hear a lot of bange, 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 bange. It's exactly who you need to call. Okay? Blue tarp season all the time. South Florida staple. They love the U. And not only do they love the U, they know the U. They know the U. They know what's going on. They're not like casual fans. They are hardcore fans. I promise you can replace, just put the Baines brothers and replace them with the Orange Bowl brothers, and these guys will.
They probably do a
can
better
carry on.
job, to be honest with you.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, they know a lot of the ins and outs in between those locker rooms and down there at, or OBB land. So 91 roof. That's the number you call, though. 91 roof.
Also, it's rainy season. It is humid season. It is getting hot and sweaty down there for your boys. You know it. You got swamp ass by about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon at this stage, especially if you got to do any sort of stuff outside, like walking around or anything. Manscaped, promo code OBB, 20% off, crop preserver, all that. Just
hold
yeah,
on. That statement coming from a guy who doesn't leave the confines of the house,
the compound,
is fucking hysterical. I gotta be honest with you, like doing stuff outside, like walking around.
But you know who does leave the house?
I gotta watch
my
Stella.
God.
But you know who does leave the house? And he's currently in Greece. Yeah, beating the bookie.
Yeah,
He's
I saw
in
that.
Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Greece. So he needs Manscaped. I think he can afford it, though, because he's got the package.
He does. Beatingthebookie.com. That's where you get all the packages. 2 weeks ago at the US Open, the SL was a 45 units. Last week, about even at the Travelers. But we are getting into football season, right? We are rocking and rolling right into August and September. You get the NCAA, you got the NFL. Hockey season is over, and he crushed it. Major League Baseball is continuing, and soccer. All that good stuff. We get the end of golf season coming up here pretty soon. It's already July almost, guys. I mean, it's kind of crazy to me.
Here's the cool thing. So if you had been following him and had his NHL package all season long, one of the aspects is he also gives out future bets.
True.
So you would have been in a situation last night where if the Panthers won, you were going to cash in on 3 units. But if the Edmonton won, you were going to cash in on 10 units. So you were having a winning night before the puck even dropped, because he had you set up based on odds from feet. Like, so it's cool. Like, you forget you have these bets sometimes. And all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, right. He said to place this 4 months ago when they were plus 2,000 to win the cup. And yeah, so it's fun.
He's good at what he does.
It's true. I think I had $10 on that plus 2,000 Edmonton to win the cup from 4 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would prefer that the Panthers win it instead of that $200. So it was worth. I don't know. Maybe not. That 10 minutes of hell at the end of that game was something. I talked to Ro earlier, and he said, which I got to be honest with you about this, Ro. That conversation did concern me a little bit, because your inability to sit there through something, right, with the emotions, like, I don't like it anymore either. It bothers me, right? It's just a bit too anxiety ridden, but that bothers. I'm a little concerned, because if the Canes do get,
I'll watch the Canes. I'm
in
way
a position where we have to
No.
watch a game that means something.
Absolutely, because my commitment to the Canes. Listen, there's a hierarchy. I like South Florida teams, and there's one New York team I happen to like, right? But I love South Florida teams, but there's one that has my heart more than any of them. All right, and it's the University of Miami, and I will watch a University of Miami national championship playoff game from start to finish, and deal with the anxiety of it, and just embrace it. But I'm not as big of a Florida Panthers fan. I rooted for them like crazy, but I couldn't watch that game stressing myself out. So I kept paying attention to ESPN, the timeline clicked on, clicked off. I'm like, this is too much stressful shit going on. I cannot do it.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Paul Marie says we invented the new strategy of icing the puck 72 times.
I will say I was fascinated on the coaching avenue of that. He goes, and I would be like, I just want these to speed up. I wouldn't want this to speed up. Everybody wanted to speed up. And he was like, no, absolutely not. We want it to slow down.
He's did.
Like,
I'm not sure they did.
We want to embrace those moments. But no, he almost sounded like it was a cultural pillar, like one of the golden golden pillars in his folder. He was like, no. We want to embrace that moment. I'm like, man, that's interesting. That is I've never heard a coach say that.
That's heavy.
It was fascinating.
That's heavy. He's awesome, dude. Like, listening to him and his perspective on certain things.
I mean, it's kind of like that Navy SEALs embrace the suck kind of tenet, where it sucks. Just embrace it. Right. You know, it's going to hurt. Just so it's kind of that kind of, but he did it from the standpoint of, he even said, when am I ever going to coach? Probably never in a Game 7 Stanley Cup for the rest of my life. Why would I want it to speed up? Enjoy it. And I'm like, wow, that's like you said, Scoop, good word. That's heavy. That's heavy. But I appreciate it. I love listening to that.
As someone who was watching that game on his couch, I could not fucking disagree more.
100%.
Oh, I know. I know what the human instinct is.
I wanted that 10th of a second thing to pop up on the screen.
I'm like, bro, I just want some sort of possession in their zone.
Yes. Just
anything. Anything. How about a 3-touch possession? Anything to shave 15 seconds off this fucking clock. Like it was so intense.
Actually.
I mean, that barrage was impressive, dude.
Well, hold on a second, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe our AI counterparts watched that game and have a recap of it.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I asked the AI to do a recap of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, the finals.
So go ahead, just do me a recap of the finals and see what it spit out. This is what it gave us.
Welcome back to the AI Orange Bowl, boys.
Congratulations to the Florida Panthers for nearly killing all of South Florida.
But hey, we brought home the cup, baby.
Yeah, now Jenners wants us to do a recap of the Stanley Cup Finals because the real OBBs either don't have it in them or don't know enough about hockey. All right, here we go. Game 1, a shutout by the Cats. Bobrovsky had 32 saves. Great way to start the series, right?
Game 2, Oilers complained about the refs, even though they had 4 power plays and didn't score, and the Cats rolled to a 4-1 win, up 2-0, and feeling good.
Then we have Game 3, Cats up 4-1, and the bottom starts to fall out. Now, no team in sports history has come back from a 3-0 series lead.
Fuck you. Red Sox did it in 2004, or did we conveniently forget that?
No, I just fucking hate the Red Sox.
Game 4, blowout. Oilers win 8-1. Game 5, Cats get close, trailing 4-3, and give up a late goal to send it back to Alberta. Side note, how miserable must it be to live in Alberta, Canada? Look, kids, snow and more snow. And some Oilers fan with her tits out.
Game 6 was over before it started. Panthers were all in their heads at this point, and were down 3-0 before the second period ended. And here we go.
Game 7, the greatest moment in all of sports. Winner take all, and all your fans live and die with every second. Cats get an early goal, then immediately give one up. So it's knotted tighter than toast asshole when the waiter drops the bill at the table.
Graphic, but fair. Then late in the second, Reinhart kicks in the goal to take the lead. And then we spend the next hour or so shitting our artificial pants on every shot.
But they held on. They got it done. And someone in South Florida sports proved that aside from the 72 Dolphins, the Canes of the late 90s, the Heat, but only with LeBron and the occasional left field run by the Marlins, that there is someone in this town worth rooting for.
If you had a night with the cup, what would you do with it?
I'd eat Fruit Loops out of it.
I'd drill a hole and smoke it like a giant bowl.
Smoke the bowl first, then eat the cereal. That feels like the right order.
Congrats to the Cats. Bange.
There you go.
Oh, they stole my first question in my question.
Oh, did they?
You asshole.
What would you do with the cup?
Yes, of course. It was like that was my question. And they eat Fruit Loops out of it.
I'd smoke the bowl and eat the Fruit Loops.
And you know Toast would do that.
100%.
Oh my goodness, dude. Like we are so doomed. Like AI is so much better.
Yeah.
Those guys are us to a T. The only thing I will say I'm calling slight bullshit. The choreography between, okay, you take game 1 breakdown.
Yeah,
Toast,
right?
We're not that good.
No.
We would never do that.
I would
It
talk to
doesn't work
myself,
that way.
man, that was like, ding, 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 ding.
All right, you take game 1, you take
Yeah.
game 2. No, we're just showing up and Toast is doing the full breakdown on that one. We're just off ramping everything. So that's the only one I'm going to say. A little slight bullshit, OBBAI. You better learn us a little better.
The more Jenners produces these up, and this is all being done with a free AI tool, right? Like, so it leads me to believe that if we actually invested money in paying for like a subscriber for a really good AI tool, we would literally never have to do this show again. Just let AI do it. And I don't know that anyone, I think folks would think it would be better.
That bit was amazing.
I mean, Scoop sounds exactly like himself.
And and just the expressions too. He's like, and it's funny because it was like when he said it's Alberta can't, who the hell wants to listen to Alberta? It's snowing. And I'm like, that is such a Scoop thing.
Yeah.
And then when you say what I would do out of a Stanley Cup, eat Fruit Loops out of it, I would so eat Fruit Loops out of the Stanley Cup. You're 1000% right. Like
it's really strange. It's frightening.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten a lot better, I would say. Like the inflections are better. The fact that he said that Toast was able to say OBB or Orange Bowl boys, And you say Orange Bowl boys?
Very
Very well.
Let's learn how to say the name of the show now. Yeah.
Yeah, very well today.
Yeah.
I was most impressed by that, to be honest.
It took
with
I think the second week we did it couldn't say Bethune-Cookman. Remember? It was like Bethune-Cookman. Couldn't quite
Like
get it right.
somehow the meme of and I took it personal. They took it personal. They took their phonetics.
Going to work.
To a
They're
different
going to
level.
work.
Yeah.
Good. At least somebody is.
All right.
Somebody fucking does something on this show.
Spin the
Other than
wheel.
Oh, we should have talked about this when we talked about the Travelers. Those idiots running onto the 18th green.
Jeez.
They
What
got-
was
they
that
got
for? They
bodied.
protesting? Was that for Hamas or global
Oil.
warming?
Oil, I think, yeah.
Oil.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Oil.
It's like the Stonehenge people.
Oil.
Spray painting that shit orange. That was
They had
great.
five
So they're
guys
like-
running out on the Travelers, 18th
They're green
green.
guys. They're like green everything. They don't want you to drill for oil. Those kind of people.
Something like that. I don't know.
So here's my thing with the Travelers, and just from the golf standpoint, and I don't care about the spray paint or the sand or whatever, but when you tackle someone on those greens, like there's indents that are being left there now.
Well, you saw
Like-
yes. So you
How-
saw where
like-
they moved. They saw where they repositioned the pin.
Oh, I did not know. Oh,
yeah,
so they
yeah.
did. Oh,
Yeah, they repositioned the
okay.
pin for the playoff, and they moved it. It was probably 10 to 12 paces forward
Okay,
towards the front of the green.
gotcha. Okay,
So they got it away from any of that.
Those,
So
okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
they didn't move the players' balls; they just moved where the hole was.
No. They allowed them to play
Mm-hmm.
to finish after they left, but when they went to the playoff, they cut a new hole.
They cut a new hole. Gotcha. Okay.
I'd say I'm just always confused by this style of behavior. And being able to protest something is your God-given right in this country, and I don't take that for granted. It's just always lost in translation because, again, I don't know what you were actually protesting, because then you call somebody like me in my line of work, and then I'm trying to like unglue your hand to the cement.
I hope
And
they're
I'm like-
still in jail. to
And
be
I'm like,
honest with you.
I don't, do you think I'm going to talk about what you are actually protesting? No, I have zero idea. I am now going to talk about that you left dents on the 18th hole and we got to move the pin, right? So I think you got to come up with some better protest methods to drive your message home, because it's lost in translation.
These fucking people are idiots. What do you
They're
want?
idiots, man. The one standing in front of traffic and just stop.
That
Spray
now,
painting
see that
Stonehenge,
one,
just stop.
that one needs to be a little bit more looked at, because again, my line of work, if I'm trying to get to somebody and you're in the way, you
Well,
potentially are
they're
in the way
they're
of,
the people you got to tend to on the way back.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you're in a life or
Fine.
death emergency situation and you could possibly make it where that, like, you shouldn't be able to block traffic. You should. That's just my personal, but find it, do it on the sidewalks. Do it all day. Have 1 million people on the sidewalks. Just don't keep people from getting to where they need to go, especially people that's like important, you know? Yeah.
How about the idiots
I
that tried to spray paint Taylor Swift's jet and got the wrong plane?
did,
That happened this week too.
did it really?
Yeah.
Well, how about Dave Grohl starting a fight with the Swifties?
Yeah,
Oh
well,
my
you know.
Oh
God.
yeah.
Is that strategic? Is that strategic, or is it just
I don't
Dave being
know.
Dave? I mean,
no.
like you picked
I mean,
a fight
I
with the
don't-
strongest like fan base in the world right now.
Yeah.
Like, she's not a lip syncer,
No, she performs
talented.
live.
Yeah.
She's talented.
so I'm
So
not.
I'm not really sure what
where he
the
was going there with that. Yeah,
I wasn't either, because it's not.
He went after
it's an
Creed
in-
too.
it's
It's
an
not his
inaccurate
first
statement,
time.
though.
He's
Yeah.
gone after other people. It's not like Swifty is his first. I remember him going after Creed religiously.
No, but I just think I think it was what he had said, which is it doesn't. I mean, if you're going to go after her, at least go after her with information that's factual.
Yeah, I think that he was trying to make more fun of the eras and the errors tour and trying to make a joke about that. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, so the only thing that from what I've read, the only thing that is recorded on her shows are some of the backing tracks. But everything she's doing is live.
Yeah. Well,
So,
of course
you know.
they've got production behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest
That was
show on the
interesting.
planet.
Look, man, they came out for
And-
him. Who the hell's this guy? Watched the
Yeah.
old man. I'm like, oh well, it's you know.
Now listen, he doesn't
He's-
have the
he's
fan
got- he's
base
got tread.
he does, but it's not like he has zero fan
No,
base. I
yeah.
mean, he's packed Wembley Stadium and had
Mhm.
Yep.
epic concerts
Yep.
and shows.
He's had
he's
quite a
one of the-
career.
Hell of a career. But
Even though
again,
you guys hate the first 10 years of it. You know.
I'm going to say it, Dave, and you're in my generation. Sit down, boomer. just sit down, boomer. Sit this one out. You're not winning against that fan base.
Nope.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Right.
You're a single X-wing pilot going against the Death Star. It's not
And your
happening,
fan
bro.
base
It's a
is
crap.
Gen X, and none of us give a shit enough to engage with Swifties that long to care. So yeah,
Yep.
we're not going to have
It's
your
true.
back.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, what's next?
Can we normalize sending the other family money for play dates? So after the play date, I texted her mom and I said, thanks for letting Jamie play today. Please help out with your share of the expenses for the play date, totaling $15 via Venmo. Let's do it again sometime. Because I can't keep doing these play dates if it's so expensive. And she said, expenses? And I said, yeah, she used supplies and food while she was here. And this way we can do this more often without a monetary obligation on just one party, right? Makes sense. Now, she didn't say much, but she did say what supplies. And of course I wrote them down. There was chalk, applesauce, fruit. She sat on the couch, so that's wear and tear. She actually broke a toy. She had 3 juice boxes. She went to the bathroom. She had yogurt. Then she actually sent the money, and I sent her a message thanking her for it, of course.
She went to the bathroom.
I think it's $1 per bathroom visit.
Yeah.
I hate that there's people like her that exist. On one hand,
that kid's gonna have no friends.
She is everything that's wrong in this world.
yes, yes. And you know where she
That-
went over the
that
line?
woman right there.
You know where she went over the line? Tell me where she went over the line. Tell me what.
Wear and tear on the couch.
The
Oh my
couch.
Thank
God,
you.
dude.
Thank you. That at
Your
that
little
point,
shit sat on the couch.
at that point, you were never
Dollars.
going to.
The hell
You were
she
never
get
going to
off?
reason her. You were never going to win an argument with her. You were never going to reason with her because she's such an asshole. She was going to drag you down to her level and beat you with experience, and there was no winning that argument. You're literally charging me for wear and tear on the couch. Like, how long did my little? I mean, how if they're talking about play dates, how much do you think her daughter weighs? 40 pounds? How much wear and tear does 40 pounds on a couch do? When her fat ass, I'm just taking a guess here, is probably 200. And you're
140.
gonna charge my daughter. You're gonna charge my daughter wear and tear for sitting on your couch. I get the juice boxes. I get the food. I am not. You're okay there. Hey man, you had a play date. I went and got her some lunch. I got her some juice box. Do you mind Venmoing me some cash? Sure, no problem. Economy sucks. Here you go. How much?
All right, here was the breakout. $1 for chalk, $1 for applesauce, $1 for fruit, $1 for sitting on the couch, $5 for the broken toy, $2 for 3 juice boxes, $1 for each of her 3 trips to the bathroom, and $1 for yogurt.
And she's charging for the bath.
Bro.
I hate her.
Like, oh, so here's my thing. Hold on. She didn't just come up with this, right? Like, are there other? Is this like a small? Is this beginning to gain momentum? Is this actually a thing? Like, she was pretty confident. Like, can we just normalize this finally? Like, this has been going. Like, I've never like when she raised it. Her mom asked for money after play dates. Like, who taught her that this was okay in the right way to do things?
You know, and in my circle too, when I take one of the boys or they take one, it's just the way we've done it. We don't take anything. Like, I'm like, no, I got it. When he's at my house, I pay for the food. I pay for everything. It's just me.
It's all going to even out.
Exactly. And if it doesn't, you're that guy and you know they're even out, and it's going to even out in the end because they're going to stop taking your kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like they've been so like my kids' baseball team have been like awesome when it comes to this. Hey, no, I think you're out. Hey, can I Venmo you? And you still offer, hey, can I Venmo you? Absolutely not. Absolutely. Because I know when my kid goes with you, he's going to order a full rack of ribs. Be prepared. So just be prepared. But when your kid comes with me, he can order a full rack of ribs and I'll pay for it.
All right. Should we do 5 questions or want to hit any more of these?
Up to you guys. I'm good with anything. Most of these are just kind of off stories. The only one I thought was funny was it's not funny, but the guy who died.
What's so funny? Yeah,
the guy who died immediately after winning $4 million.
Did you see that
at the Singapore casino? Yeah. From celebrating.
It was staged. Conspiracy theorists that it's like he won just to get everybody excited and then he died. I mean, it's gonna. Nah, I think he just died. All right, never mind.
What are you talking about, Alex Jones? Jesus Christ!
I mean, the guy died. He won $4 million and keeled over.
I know.
Who gets the money?
It was staged.
Nobody. They're gonna keep it. The house always wins.
But he won it. Doesn't go to his family.
Hell no.
Yeah,
you
well,
know
it
that
has
doesn't
to.
work that way.
Machine, right?
Has
No
to.
way. No way. They're gonna be like
What do
he
you mean,
won
no
it, but he
What
didn't.
do you mean no way?
How did
Has
they
to.
win?
Has to.
No, I'm saying no. They kept it.
No way.
I'm saying the Cats all day.
No way.
No way.
No way. No way.
Fuck's sake.
Yes,
No
fuck's
way.
sake.
They kept it.
No way.
House always wins.
No way.
No.
All right.
No. There was other good stuff on that list.
Well, 5 questions it.
What else you
Oh,
want?
never mind.
What? Oh, stop
What
it.
else
What,
you
what
want?
else
Let
did
me
we
see.
What
say?
else you want?
We saw
British people
that.
can't produce can't pronounce
Hold
microwave.
on a second. How do you not talk about the Brewers? The Brewers staffer is an assassin, a legitimate killer.
Amy Betro, 44 years old, is on trial for botching a 2019 murder in Birmingham. It turns out she worked for the Milwaukee Brewers. She was an administrator, worked in the front office.
And she's also an assassin for hire?
And an assassin for hire.
And a
Look
female.
at her.
Got hired to kill
fatale.
somebody and screwed it up. And that's how
A
she got
femme
caught.
fatale. Oh, wow. That's hard, too.
Look at this chick. She is an paid assassin.
Cellulite hanging in pubic hair.
Probably not. She's an
Incredible.
assassin.
Oh, wow.
Incredible. Come on.
A femme
Is that cool
fatale.
or what?
That's fucked up.
A Black Widow.
Yeah.
And you would think of all the jobs that
She looks
I
good
get a
for 44.
housewife. That just seems like that was a movie. I mean, that's how Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie started. But like a staffer for the Milwaukee Brewers, like that would never even script in Hollywood. Hey, I got this story idea. You know what? We're gonna have this assassin. What does she do? She's just a regular mid-level staffer for a Major League Pro Baseball. That would never happen. That sounds so stupid. Like
Amazing.
they're like what? But they need to make a movie.
How much did they pay her for this hit?
And how do you how like is there an app for this? Is there like a secret take somebody
Right.
out app? Well, I found out the other day. I mean, there's a guy, Bad News Bob. Have you heard of this guy? His job is literally you call him and he delivers bad news. So if you don't want to deliver bad news for somebody, you call Bob and he's Bad News Bob's like, hey, your friends pulled up and paid for me. They want to let you know your wife's cheating on you. Okay, here's the photos. I'll send it to you. Have a nice day.
Jesus Christ.
Bad News Bob. So is there an app for Bad News Bob? And is there an app for like kill your friend Freddie? Like what? It's crazy.
God.
Crazy.
All right.
So before we get to 5 questions, and
Mhm.
I'm not going to make this a habit, but I am
Okay.
going to say this one more time, and hopefully it's the last time we have to say it.
Okay.
Okay. I was very serious a few weeks ago about taking care of yourself as a man
Mhm.
in your head. Talk to somebody. Talk to anybody. Just had another college friend
Oh, no.
take his life last week. It's just don't, what did I say? Don't be a pussy. Talk to people. Open your mouth. You're okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to have issues. We all do. We all fight every single day. The highest ratio of suicide in this country right now, middle-aged Caucasian men. Be strong. By being strong, talk to people. Talk to somebody who's outside the field of perspective for you. And allow yourself to get help so you don't then become a victim of this shit that we constantly have to deal with. Thank you. 5 questions.
Very nice.
Five questions.
In light of the Florida Panthers winning their first ever franchise stand,
Bong Fruit Loops.
what would you do with the Stanley Cup?
Bong.
Fruit Loops. No, I do Bong
Pennies.
and Fruit Loops.
I did the bong, then eat the Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the answer. Bong and then the Fruit Loops. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna eat something out of it, and that top part of it definitely looks like you can have some cereal. I just don't think it's gonna be Fruit Loops, but Fruit Loops does look like the
Cinnamon Toast
natural
Crunch?
fit. Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
All right. So sorry, OBB Roman. OBB AI Roman. I'm not going to go with the Fruit Loops. But the Fruit Loops milk too is it's not as good as the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
You know
milk.
what'd be
That's
really good in there?
too.
You know what'd be really good in there? Honeycomb.
Honeycomb?
Here's the thing.
That's low key.
That's like a gallon of milk in there, man. That's like a gallon of milk. I'm just saying.
I don't care.
I know,
That's
but
a lot of milk.
a lot. I'm just saying. Imagine the fucking sundae you could make in that thing.
Oh, that's amazing.
It'd be like the kitchen sink at Jackson's.
Holy Jesus, bro.
Oh,
Exactly.
Jackson's ice cream. That's amazing.
Jackson's
But you know what I'm going to do?
Sink, bro.
I mean, I'm on NHL, so I got a really nice car, but I'm literally putting that thing in a driver's seat, and I'm just going to hit random drive-thrus and just order shit with the Stanley Cup in the passenger seat belted in.
Make them put the food in the cup.
I'll take a number
go.
6, please. Biggie, size it.
Did you see the videos of
thanks.
them drowning dudes with beer off the
Elbow Room? Amazing.
off the top of the elbow room?
Mhm.
I mean,
How many
they were
times we've been at the
blasting
Elbow
these
Room?
dudes in the face.
How many times have we been at the Elbow Room?
Oh my
And it's
God.
amazing
man.
that the Stanley Cup, out of all places, would end up at the.
This is the first place it went.
Yeah.
First place it went.
First
Listen,
place
they
it
all
went
live
was the
around
elbow
there.
room. Incredible.
Yeah.
Really. I mean,
Yep.
I'd put tequila in it. I just drink tequila out of it.
Yeah, I was going to say the same. Fill it with beer.
I think it was
To the top. Finish.
Evan Rodriguez mentioned that he wanted to make a margarita in it when he has it for his day.
It's a good man. Can I say something? I
There's
said that.
probably some things that's been done to that cup.
Oh my
God,
goodness.
You really want to know?
There's been disinfected
No.
very well.
Yeah, every year it's disinfected heavily. I was a little concerned about it being in the ocean. I got to be honest.
Mm.
That I'm like, is that thing gonna pit like really bad?
No,
from the
they-
salt water.
They tell you all the time you can do whatever you want with it. I don't even know what
Yeah.
what rules they have, but it doesn't seem to be many
Fucking
because you hear the
steel, bro.
stories of what they're doing with it. I know
Yeah.
a lot of them sleep with it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Sure. So here's the most oxymoronic thing of the entire hockey season. And I'll give you 3 words. Evan Rodriguez hockey.
Those names don't seem like they should be synonymous
Right,
with
yeah.
a hockey player.
Explain that to me.
First Evan on the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Explain the first 2 words.
Mm-hmm. It's fitting that he's on the Panthers.
And then associated with hockey.
I mean,
No.
listen,
It's
if we're gonna
amazing.
be honest,
If
if we're
any-
gonna be 100% honest, if you were gonna have an Evan Rodriguez, he just sounds like he was conceived on Sunrise Boulevard. I'm just saying. Like
It's crazy.
Listen, I think it's
does.
fitting that the South Florida team that gets on the Stanley Cup has a guy named Rodriguez on it. I think it's perfect.
Perfect.
And an Evan.
And an
And
Evan.
That's the same
Part of the
guy.
reason why
It's
it's on
amazing
Sunrise
there's never
Boulevard.
been an Evan.
Never.
Because there was 2 Evans in this series. Edmonton had an Evan also, Evan Bouchard.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it was going to
yeah.
be an Evan regardless. The fact that it's
Oh.
never happened, it was interesting. I think it's a popular name in Canada.
Bouchard can slap it, bro.
Dude, like over in like 95 miles an hour every time. Insane. He's like 22, 23.
I have
be
another
interesting to see what
Panther-related
happens.
question.
Yeah, go
Question
ahead.
number 2. If you just won your championship in the state of Florida, where are you holding your parade?
So I like the A1A thing because obviously you can have a bunch of people standing along the beach as well. It goes very deep. In my mind, I was thinking you do it from US 1 in Broward, just right at the north end of the tunnel, and go right up to their practice facility at War Memorial.
War Memorial?
That's where their practice facility is.
I know. When I graduated high school, that's where we
That's
did our
yeah,
graduating
sure.
ceremonies.
Yeah.
at War
Well, they just
Memorial
redid that whole
Auditorium.
place. And
All you
moved
did
it on.
was graduate from there, and they have gun shows.
Not anymore, they don't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that thing is beautiful now.
I'm going to be honest. If it's a Florida Panthers, because I'm going to be on that motif and not the Heat or the Hurricanes or the Dolphins, we're just taking laps around the Sawgrass Mills Mall. just,
That was a joke.
constant laps.
Ulysses. Yeah.
just constant laps. Usted está pasando por la entrada de tu
Oh my
carro.
god. Oh my god.
We are.
Oh my
we are
God.
Yes, you know it. You are a South Florida baby.
Blue Dolphin entrance.
Usted está pasando por la entrada de Blue Dolphin.
Dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're just taking laps around that bitch.
I love the overhead they show of the arena that shows the lake,
Yes.
right? And then the
you
parking
think-
lot in the arena, it looks very nice.
It does. It really looks beautiful.
It
It
looks-
yes.
It looks like a really nicely
It's an
set
extension
top.
of the
People are
mall.
like,
Oh my
people are like,
God.
it's right in the water. I'm like, no, it's actually not.
And then right behind
Yeah.
that's the Everglades.
Yeah.
We're actual Florida Panthers.
They don't even pan out enough for you to see the sawgrass. They keep it just on the other side.
And bro,
funny.
is there any cheesier like mall kind of motif than that little sawgrass alligator?
Yeah.
It's a little alligator. You know what I'm saying? The Sawgrass Mills Mall alligator.
Well,
It
so
looks
it's in
like
the
some
shape of
kid
an
did it in
alligator.
second grade art class.
I ain't been there for.
We know the whole mall's in the shape of an alligator.
Is it?
If you look for the overhead, it's an alligator.
I was
It
2
is?
days old. Never
Apparently,
knew that.
yeah.
Hold on a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah,
Hold-
Google that shit.
hold
No
on.
way.
Mills
No
overhead.
way.
No way, for fuck's sake.
No way. Let me know. Scoop, let me know.
Sawgrass Mills.
Yeah.
No way. I mean,
I can see it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's supposed to be an alligator.
I can see it. It's from overhead. Like if
overhead,
the alligator was laying on its belly.
Yeah.
I can
But,
see
yeah.
it. Maybe. It's not like really clear.
No, so
but
like, you know that back in
If I had smoked the Stanley Cup and eaten a bowl of Fruit Loops,
you
I would
buying
think
it?
this is definitely an alligator.
Okay. Good enough for me. When they did the last time they went in when they lost to Colorado back, 97 or whatever it was, they did do a parade in honor of winning the conference. You know where that parade was held?
Overtown.
They did a boat parade down the New River through right
see,
downtown
that's
Fort
cool.
Lauderdale. Yeah.
That's
Through
cool.
the what's the place, the bar place is closed now. That big area where all the bars
Some
are.
Middle
beach
River.
place?
Yeah, Beach Place. No,
Beach Place.
no, not
Oh,
Beach
Riverfront.
No, that's where the
Riverfront.
Marlins parade was.
Yeah, no, Riverfront.
Riverfront.
But they had an event at the arena.
They did, yes. They did have an
I
event
went
at
to
the
that.
arena,
I
yes.
remember that.
But I was at the parade. At the boat
I won
parade,
that
yeah.
parade.
So, Jenners, where are you going to have a parade?
I figure it's got to be in Lauderdale, right? I mean, you Broward Boulevard, straight down Broward Boulevard, where all the white people are. Let's keep it focused on the white folks.
You could do Broward Boulevard from like Broward and Flamingo or all the way to the beach.
There you go.
Take you to fucking
You know
Thursday.
you're going to go right by the Broward jail when you do that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Well, I mean, come on. Wait to the
You
cup.
realize how many people would die of heat exhaustion if it was that long?
Oh, my goodness.
That's like a 5-hour long parade.
It is so funny just where my mind went. I was like, oh, well, if you get closer to like Cleary area, there's a Little Caesars there on the corner.
Fill the cup with crazy bread.
Oh my God. All right, what's next?
Scooby, where you go? Where are you going on your parade? I don't think
I like the beach idea.
So you're going to keep it where they're going, huh?
I like it because you can
Especially
just
with
have
hockey.
because you can close it down
Is that
and
a
have
bigger?
people just everywhere. All the other places like you can't like US1 you can't fucking close US1 down.
Is that a
between-
big middle finger to Edmonton fans too? Not only did we win the Stanley Cup, we let you
doing it
teach
on the
it
beach?
so close. You were so close, and we're on the beach celebrating when we do it.
I mean, Kachuk took it in the fucking ocean. For Christ's sake.
Yeah, he did.
Bro, it is yesterday afternoon. I have to go stop at True Leave to get some weed before I go home. Stop in there. There's only about 3 of us in there. Dude walks in wearing a Draisaitl shirt, Edmonton, right? From Canada, has flown down for the game. He's unaware of the rules about weed here in the state of Florida. So he walks right into this True Leave and just walks right past all, the folks waiting in the waiting room and goes right into the back to try to buy some weed. And it's suddenly informed like, yeah, you just can't. You can't just buy weed, so you have to be a resident, you have to have a medical card, a prescription, the whole deal. And he's trying to see if anyone would hook him up with any. He's just like, you cannot have this conversation, sir. You need to leave. And so he leaves, and we just also just making fun of him for having the. It's like, maybe he was a little
that's
bit
why
nicer.
if we invade Canada, it's easy. It's easy. The Fighting Trudeaus have no chance. No chance.
You just walk into things just to get weed. No weed for you. No cup for you. No weed for you. Go home.
Okay,
Get some Delta 8.
in light of last night, this is another
the little store next door has some Delta 8. Go hit that, bro. Go enjoy yourself.
This is another last night styled question. But if you could witness any game 7, who are the teams and what's the sport? It's got to be a game 7, not
So
a
it's
Super
pro,
Bowl.
so it's
So
a
it has
pro
it's a
sport.
pro sports team. Pick the teams and what game 7 are you witnessing?
I mean, I'll go hockey all day, every day. And it's not just because of last night. Game 7 of a hockey series is the best sporting event on the planet.
But I
So-
need teams. Like I need.
I mean, obviously I would say Panthers, but I don't know who else. I don't know. I mean, Boston. I like that. I like that kind of like issue there.
But they
I
could
don't
never
know.
meet in the Stanley Cup Finals.
I know that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess we have to be real life. I don't know. But game 7 hockey is there's nothing better.
I would agree with that in part, but I would say right behind it is game 7 baseball, where every single pitch, there's just this stress and just, so I think it's right. I mean, I understand the hockey thing. It's a little bit more faster paced. There's no so I get it. I get that, but baseball's right behind it. Basketball's not even close
So
in my mind.
what game 7 you're going to go watch?
Well, for baseball, I mean, come on, man. It's Red Sox Yankees.
Now, see what location are you going to go to Fenway and watch it, or are you going to go to?
I'll watch it either place. I don't care. Either
Because
place is just phenomenal. Yeah,
because that's going to be my answer, because it's going to be a game 7.
Why
but
though?
at
It's like
Fenway. At Fenway.
See, if you're talking about real life though, what's the point of that game 7 in that series?
Just at Boston to win in Boston at Boston. That's just
the last time there was a Red Sox Yankee
get a ring
game
for it.
7. It was in Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees lost.
Yeah. Yankees.
It was the last of 4 games they lost in a row.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, after they had a 3-0 lead, like much as the Panthers did. But unlike the Panthers, they weren't able to man up and ball up at the end and get it done. They just, crawled into the fetal position and died like little bitches because Johnny Damon just hits them home fucking runs.
Yep. Boston Jesus.
You weren't even a Yankee fan back then.
No, I was a Fort Lauderdale Yankee fan. So it counts.
Well, I'm a baseball guy, so I'm with Toast on baseball. And obviously I work for the Braves. I worked for the Braves for 16 years. So I've got to say Braves, and I would say Braves and Phillies, honestly, to go to the World Series.
Game 7?
Stick it in Bryce Harper. Right in his eye.
Oh, speaking of Hawk Tour, I got to give you a story. But speaking of that one when they were singing that song in the Phillies and like, ayo, oh, ayo, and the guy hits the bomb, that was like one of the more electric kind of highlights. That was so intense. That was so, you hated it, but I thought it was just fun to witness. So my boys had a baseball game, a little off ramp. I almost got thrown out of this, by the way, too. So my boys had a baseball game. I am talking about, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, these kids are at that age too. And I know they're internet savvy. I was like, I wonder if they know who the Hawk Tour girl is, right? And I'm just like, nah, whatever. Guys, I'm not even kidding you. The first pitch of the game, right? And it's a term in baseball. Don't get me wrong. It's like ball. Franco was up to bat, ball low. And you say it. We always say it. We're like, hey, way to spin on that, right? The first pitch of the game was a low ball to my son. And I hear one of the kids, way to Hawk Tour spin on that fast. So, dude, it took literally one pitch for the validation to come true. Yes, they saw it. Everybody saw it.
Bro, she lost her
on
gig,
that thing.
but she can sell T-shirts now.
Oh my goodness,
No.
she's a
Doing
millionaire.
signs.
She does it right.
It's not true.
She
wasn't
she's
a
millionaire.
preschool teacher.
Oh, she wasn't
not
a preschool
true.
teacher?
That's not a true story.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Really? How do you know? Why are you ruining it?
I'm just telling you. Hey, we gotta have the fact. Look, this is a very important story.
I like the alternative facts.
We have to have the facts. She was not a preschool teacher. She's not fired.
So what does she do?
I just sliced it. Well, I mean,
They haven't found out.
I had a
She
couple
was signing
guesses.
hats. She was signing hats.
I saw her doing signings, with merch.
Yeah, she was signing hats. And if she's smart, she'll be a millionaire, just like the Catch Me Outside. How about that girl? Like
How's
that girl's.
Pookie feeling? You think he's
I love
feeling
you,
threatened?
Pookie. Who's Pookie? We
boyfriend.
so many questions.
I know,
Many
you think he's
questions.
feeling threatened? He's getting a lot of competition.
Oh my goodness!
Everybody
Spit
wants
on
her to Hawk to a spit on that thing.
it. She's amazing. And somebody put a meme of her. You remember the plane girl? It was like, that person's not real. That girl. And it was like the one cop that's they're like, this is the Avengers. They like put it all side by side and like, we're assembling a team.
There was an idea.
Oh my
We're
God.
like the Avengers. So real quick. So I've never been thrown out of a baseball game, but I got really, really close. And ask me what I did.
What'd you do?
Thank you for asking. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you told me to.
I told a kid as he was running off the field, thinking that there was 3 outs, that there was only 2 outs. True story. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So we're up big at this point, and the kid's running off the field. And I'm like, hey, buddy, no. You got 2 outs. I thought he struck out 3 people. I go, no, buddy, he just struck out 2 people. I'm pretty sure there's just 2 outs. None of your team's leaving. He's like, okay. Their coach flipped out. How dare you talk to my players? It's like, talk to your players.
What?
I just told him how many outs there were. Comes and talks to me. He's like, listen, I'm not kicking you out of the game, but you can't coach third anymore. So I was like, I've never seen this before. I didn't get kicked out of the game. I just got kicked out from coaching third. So I'm walking to the dugout, and my manager, he's like, what's going on? Where are you going? I'm like, you got to coach third. I just got banned from it. So he goes up to third. We throw one pitch. He puts the game on protest and is upset that he didn't toss me from the game completely. And we had a 20-minute delay so they can look up a rule why I was kicked from the dugout and not out of the game. True story. The funniest part about this, and the only reason why I say this story, because I literally came into the dugout and I went to, one of my boys, put my hand over my mouth like this. And I go, guys, if we have the opportunity to put up another 10 runs, we're going to do it, because there's no fucking chance in the world, right? We're going to lose to a guy that's wearing tie-dyed socks and Crocs. Yeah. He wore tie-dyed socks and Crocs. That guy. He almost got your boy Roe tossed for the first time ever. Question number 4. You can have 5,000 of anything that starts with the letter Y. What do you choose?
5,000.
Anything that starts with the letter Y.
Ooh, trust the 5,000 of them. That's a lot of them. A lot of fucking yo-yos, man. I don't know what you do with that many yo-yos.
I'm going to say it easy because this is like transactional for me. I'm just going to buy 5,000 Yukons. I'll sell those bitches. I'll make a lot of money. I'll keep one. 4,999 of them are going wholesale to some dealer. Yukons. Final answer. I'm sure there's better ones. Come on, boys.
The only thing I could think of was yo-yos.
Was what? Yo-yos? Yeah, bro.
The only thing I can think of is yams, and I hate yams.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I can hate yams.
I got another one for
Who
you.
eats yams?
Who wants 5,000 yoo-hoos?
Oh, dude.
That's not bad.
Toast.
That's not bad.
I mean, what are your thoughts on yoo-hoos growing up? You loved them, right? They were amazing.
I prefer regular chocolate milk. I prefer Quick over the yoo-hoo.
I get that, but the yoo-hoo in the actual bottle,
Oh my God.
It was so good.
Right a second. The fastest consumption of any drink ever.
And I legit took my son to like a Carvel to get ice cream, and lo and behold, I had a yoo-hoo.
You can't get that to your kids.
I was like, you got to try this. This is amazing. It's a yoo. He hated it. He's like, I don't like it. Really? And then I tasted it, and when I tasted it, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I was like, what happened? It was not the same. So you do not want 5,000 yoo-hoos.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yukon
I mean,
potatoes?
it starts with Y. I can't even think of anything else that starts with a Y. How valuable are yen?
Yeah, right.
How much is that? I have no clue.
5,000
How
yen is like
about-
8 cents or something.
Oh,
I got it.
no,
I
it's no
got it
good.
for you. I got the winning one.
I see
I
one
have
on
5,000 pairs of Yeezys.
here. I never clicked to see people's answers, but I just clicked on and I think the winner. I'll tell you what I perceivably think is the winner. But 5,000 Yeezys, okay. 5,000 yo-yos, 5,000 Yukons,
5,000 yachts.
5,000 yachts.
You're insanely rich if you have 5,000 yachts.
How about 5,000 fruit on the bottom yogurts?
Ooh, those are solid though.
Got to stir them up yourself. Mm-hmm. Yummy.
Those are so good.
I love those. Those are things like crack.
You'd never get through 5,000 before they all spoiled, though.
Jenners, why do you got to bring fucking reality into this shit, man?
Yeah, we'll give them the friends.
Like,
I don't know. I'm also the guy who threw out yams, so I've got nothing tonight. Okay.
Yams. Those will fucking spoil. Unless they're
Of course,
canned.
I don't even like
Canned
them.
yams.
Never had them.
Canned yams are non-perishable, I believe.
Oh, good.
Remember, they used to bring into the
Those
food
are
wrong.
healthy for you.
Oh, good.
Canned, yeah, you
Great.
canned
I mean,
yams.
Tonight's tip.
Something that never spoils.
No. Live
Good for
longer
your
than you.
innards.
Like
All right.
Twinkies.
Last question, boys.
Right.
What's the most bizarre coincidence you've ever experienced or know that somebody experienced that still baffles you to this day?
God, you ask these questions that involve thought and memory, and it's
All right, well, I'll
just
tell you,
not
so-
really
so
good
It's
for
a
me.
tough one. That's a tough
It's
one.
just
At
awful.
10
I'll tell you
p.m.
why this because when I read this question, so this was a crazy coincidence. Okay, New York City, Penn Station. Okay, New York City, Penn Station. My dad and I are literally just there to change over because we're taking a trip upstate. We were just in town, just in that moment, 20 minutes going from in Penn Station, New York City, and going over there. And he runs into his first cousin, like walking, who doesn't really, that's not where he lives. And I'm like, out of all the billions of people and the chances of running into your first cousin at Penn Station and just walking by, like, holy shit, that's my cousin. Like, that was crazy. That was the most bizarre coincidence ever. And it still baffles me. Out of all the people in the world going into Penn Station, insanely crowded in the middle of New York City, you would run into your first cousin.
All right.
You want me to get you another question?
Yeah, are we supposed to answer that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
got nothing.
What's the worst thing you saw happen at a wedding?
I saw a couple people get married.
Game over.
Yeah, it's your winner.
Good. 100%. No,
That's
no
it.
other answers
Nope.
needed.
Close it. That's the winner. Good one, Scoop.
What are we calling this thing?
Oh, goodness. All right.
The hour
Lord,
and the 90 minutes that never ended?
yeah, really. Lord Stanley at the Elbo Room. The house always wins. Heavily disinfected. The sawgrass alligator. Tie-dyed socks and Crocs. You do not want 5,000 yoo-hoos. And canned yams never spoil.
It's between tie-dye socks and Crocs and the last one. For me.
Canned yams never spoil. Sounds like the Dr. Seuss book that didn't sell. You know what I mean?
Canned yams.
Or it could have.
I guess
right.
so, yeah.
I think it
5,000
was-
copies.
Yeah. I like canned yams. Oh, Aaron Judge just hit a grand slam.
Oh, damn.
It was 9-3. It's now 9-7.
All right. Canned yams?
Canned yams never spoil.
Yeah, canned yams never spoil.
Oh, nice. Once you
Much
said
like this
canned yams,
podcast.
bananas, monkeys never
Banana.
cross. But Bascas, monkeys eat banana.
Bananas.
How many bananas did you have? 3. Because
Dude.
monkeys never crumbs.
No.
One
I
of the
love
funniest
that,
fucking interviews
God.
ever, dude.
Of all time.
my God.
I challenge you to find a more funnier one, and I don't think you can.
Cellulite hanging in pubic hair.
That guy was
Oh
pretty
my
good.
God. That was
He was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty
It
good.
was pretty good. That was a diatribe, though.
Right?
Yeah, it was less of an interview.
All right, boys.
All right.
All right, boys. As
Are we done
always,
recording?
Go Canes!
Oh!
Bange.
I forgot we had to end the show.
And now we're done.